A Trump fan was just charged for threatening to assassinate two beloved U.S. senators. A 19-year-old Maryland man has been arrested after being indicted on 5 charges including threatening to murder 2 prominent liberal senators, Bernie Sanders of Vermont and Kamala Harris of California. Nicholas Edward Bukowski of Crofton, Maryland was also charged by the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. of threatening to harm participants in the March for Our Lives rallies for gun reform held throughout the country. The marches were organized by survivors of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas shooting in Parkland, Florida. Authorities held off on announcing the charges until after they secured indictments and got Bukowski in custody this week. Little is known about Bukowski or his motivations, but according to Politico, he may be the same person who in recent weeks has been arrested for the January robbery of a 7-Eleven in Maryland by a man with a knife, and on arson charges for a series of fires last spring in Crofton and Gambrills, both in Maryland. He had been arrested on first and second-degree arson and other misdemeanor charges on May 12, while he was being held on the robbery charges. As for his threats against the 2 potential Democratic presidential nominees, Bukowski is charged with 2 counts of threatening to assault or murder members of Congress and 3 counts of transmitting threats via interstate commerce. While nothing is known yet about Bukowski, his choice of targets, 2 liberal senators and a rally for sensible gun laws, suggests malcontent inspired by President Trump and the alt-right movement that includes white supremacists and neo-Nazis. Representatives for Harris and Sanders declined to comment. We have seen in recent times how dangerous one teenage rogue can be if he is armed with weapons and has mental problems, but in this case, at least it appears he has been apprehended before he could do any damage. With the current atmosphere in America that often feels like 2 armed camps, these incidents and crazy people pop up all too often, and as long as the current occupant of the White House is in power, that doesn't seem destined to change.